Good afternoon, everyone. Today is, what is today? Oh, today's May 14th. It is Tuesday, and it is approximately 2:06 p.m. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. With me today is our board, our chair, Paula Weiss, as well as board members Nancy Cameradiner, George Matthews, and John O'Connor. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy, and by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will also be posted on the Tax Review Board website. Today's category is Water Revenue and Water Department. We actually have something odd going on. There's about 18 cases listed on the docket, which is completely unusual. However, I hope we can resolve most of them. So Paula, to you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Tax Review Board for May 14th, 2024 is now in session. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we move to the matters that are actually before us on the docket today. And that is case number 2 on our docket, Jesse Rule. He's the representative. I'm sorry. Philadelphia House, Inc. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9561, has been continued. And case number 11, Emery's 2, Pennsylvania LLC, last 4 digits of the docket, 0525, has also been continued for today. The remaining docket is one taxpayer, Walter Ulatowski, with multiple properties, 16 cases listed before us today. Rather than read them one by one into the record, we're just going to incorporate them by reference into our record today. They're all on the docket with property and account number and docket, PRB docket numbers for anyone who might want to refer to them. Ms. Andre, is Mr. Ulatowski with us today?
No, he is not with us via either virtually or I'm here in our office at 100 South Broad Street.
Do we want to wait a few minutes to see if he appears or move on? I believe these matters are settled in some way, but I also believe that he
perhaps
wanted
we wait. I'm sorry, perhaps we wait.
I was going to say, I believe that he said he was going to be here. There.
Well, I have an indication that he requested a continuance, which we denied because we believe that there is nothing, based on the evidence provided by the city, we don't really believe that there's anything the board can do on these matters.
Yes.
Perhaps for just, the record and fairness, we wait till about 2:15. I did send Mr. Ulatowski the link via Zoom, and of course he got the 16 notices for these matters. So
well, it's 2:08. I think 7 minutes is not so long. Why don't we pause the hearing until 2:15? You can send him an email so that he once again has the information, and if not, at 2:15 we'll proceed.
All right, if everybody's okay, we'll just pull it back and come back in about 6-7 minutes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. I would just like to state for the record that we know for a fact that Mr. Ulatowski has Zoom capability. He used Zoom to appear at a deposition about a year and a half ago in the lawsuit that was concluded a while back. So this is not a matter of him not having a technical capacity.
Thank you for that information, Mr. Safety.
All right, so we've got like 6 minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey.
Everybody is. We are recording again.
Call everybody. We're going to call the Tax Review Board back into session. I think we have everybody we need. Ms. Andre, any information or response from our petitioner, Walter Ulatowski?
No, no one has come into the office and no one has joined via Zoom hearing.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Mr. Saifuddin. Are you the representative for these cases from the city?
I represent the city on the cases on the water revenue cases. Ms. Knezich represents the city on the water agency and stormwater cases. I will make my statement on behalf of water revenue, and then I think Ms. Knezich can state whether she agrees. But since he isn't here, but did request a continuance for family reasons, water revenue is most comfortable leaving it to the board's discretion whether to grant him a continuance or to deny for failure to appear. while we can see the reasons that the board would do either, and we're not comfortable taking a position either way. What we can say is that if the decision is if he is granted a continuance, that it be specifically marked as no further continuances.
All right, Ms. Nesich?
I agree with my colleague. I'd like to incorporate his exact comments. Water Department agrees.
So let me ask you a question, then, because this clearly is a full docket for us that we have scheduled, and to schedule it again is another full docket for us. So before we would consider doing that, could you, either one of you, explain to us the actual status of this? We saw that as exhibits that we received today, that there has already been Court of Common Pleas action in this matter. So maybe you could give us a brief synopsis of that so we can make a determination even as to jurisdiction at this point.
Yes. So, and allow me to find, I'm going to pull some documentation from my notes, not actual direct documentation. But we sued Mr. Ulatowski. He sued Mr. Ulatowski, and I have to load up a spreadsheet and a couple other items. So please bear with me. I believe in 2020 we filed the lawsuit. It may have been early 21. So find something else. Okay, so yes, it was filed in September of 2020.
And does it incorporate all of the matters in front of us?
It
then-
yes, all properties were sued upon. So all liabilities up through that date were included in the complaint, and therefore under including, I believe, for agency fees. I believe we sued for those as well. I'm not 100% sure. I was not involved in the drafting of that complaint.
All right, then I want to jump over to Ms. Nesich. Can you confirm that all properties on our docket were included in that Court of Common Pleas matter?
As far as the 4 that were listed appealing agency fees for the Water Department, they were included in that exhibit that I sent along, and they were featuring agency fees. So it's my understanding that they are covered and
Yeah.
fully adjudicated, but
Yeah.
Kareem can confirm too.
And I believe that is correct. And Mr. Ulatowski, we obtained summary judgment as to those amounts, and then my records show that he paid at the beginning of 2023 settlements based on that. Although I don't have the text of the settlement, but essentially once we obtained summary judgment, he paid not only the balances under judgment, but certain additional post complaint amounts in exchange, I believe, for a waiver of penalty. And I have documentation showing that there was in fact a check received, applied, and then penalty waivers and credits shuffled around to bring his accounts current. And this was after after all of these amounts under dispute. These disputes were filed. So the disputed amounts would be included in the settlement, if not the judgment.
So that leads me to believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that all of the matters that are under appeal are paid and nothing is due.
That would seem to be correct, yes.
Therefore, there would be nothing in this posture for the board to review or adjudicate.
I believe so.
Ms. Nesich, correct, for your matters as well?
That's my understanding, correct?
Anything else you want to provide us with at this time?
I do not have anything of that. Yes.
So it appears then we have a couple of choices.
Yeah, I want to suggest that we luckily for us, our new system allows us to put many different reasons. So we can find this as denied for no action needed, but we can make notes about the lack of jurisdiction and no action was needed as nothing was due.
I would like to put all of that on the record. I think that if we were that recommend that the board deny this petition for lack of jurisdiction, number one, based on the Court of Common Pleas action. And number two, the fact that all of the matters under appeal have now been paid. Therefore, there's nothing for the board left to review in these matters. And with the understanding, of course, Mr. Ulatowski is going to get the decision letter with all of that information. He can always respond at that time, and the board, if we need to take it up in some other manner, we can discuss it. But at this point, it seems to me that there really is nothing in front of the board to adjudicate in these matters. So I would recommend that we deny it for lack of jurisdiction.
If I may, I think a more significant thing for us would be, I think it should be important that among the reasons to dismiss should be include his failure to appear, as well as.
Oh, yes, that would always be part of our
Oh,
decisions.
I just,
And that would take precedence.
But I think at this point, I want to go further than that,
Mhm.
because I think it's important for us to have on the record that based on the information and the documentation we're looking at, the board also no longer has jurisdiction because there has been action in the Court of Common Pleas. Number one. Number two,
Yes.
the matters have been, all the matters under appeal have been paid, and this is not a refund posture case.
That is correct.
So there
all
wouldn't,
all three of those will be on.
all three of those reasons.
All three of those will be on.
Multiple
I
reasons.
will do it myself. But it will be marked generally denied because of the lack of appearance.
Okay.
Lack of jurisdiction, failure to appear, and
No action.
no action needed because the matters have already been resolved.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay?
Thank you. We would
Okay.
also ask that the letter specifically state that no further rehearing before the board is to be permitted, so that if he proceeds further, it would be by appeal to the Court of Common Pleas and not by requesting reconsideration of the board's decision today.
I don't know that I want to go quite that far,
Thank you.
putting it in the decision. Because he's not here, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, but I would need concurrence from the rest of the board.
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
George
George Matthews, I concur.
and Nancy.
Nancy, I'm not really sure what
I
happened. to
can't hear you. Put your thumb up or thumb down. Thumb up. That was, okay. Nancy Kamerdiner concurs as well. Technology is not always our friend, unfortunately. All right, so this matter is denied. For failure to appear, a general lack of jurisdiction on behalf of the board, based on Court of Common Pleas action and the fact that these matters have already been resolved and paid. So there's really nothing for us to review. I think that concludes this matter and concludes the business in front of the board today. So thank you all. I'm going to ask the board members to not sign off yet, but we're going to say goodbye to everybody else.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good day.